There is a constant hum in the background of modern life, a noise comprised of obligations, expectations, and the digital static of 1,000 voices telling you who to be. For most, this noise becomes reality. But for you, something has changed, hasn't it? A new signal is cutting through the static, a frequency you can't describe but recognize in your very bones, a feeling that a profound shift is not just possible, but imminent. If you're engaging with these ideas, it's because you've been primed for this transmission. Before you dismiss this as another piece of motivational content, let's consider a question from a different angle. When did you last experience a moment of startling, unexplainable synchronicity? When did a problem that plagued you for weeks suddenly find its solution in the lyrics of a song on the radio? That's because the system of reality is not a random series of events. It is a responsive, interconnected network of cause and effect, of intention and feedback. This network has been registering your signals, not in a mystical, all-seeing sense, but in the way a complex system registers input. Every time you chose a difficult truth over a comfortable lie, every instance you acted on intuition against all logical advice, every moment you invested in a skill without a clear payoff, each action was a sonar ping sent into the vastness of potential. You were broadcasting a specific request without knowing the language, announcing you were ready for a higher level of complexity. And now, the echo is returning. But receiving this echo isn't what most people imagine. It is not about being special or elevated above others. It has nothing to do with worthiness or being more deserving than anyone else navigating their own challenges on this planet. Receiving the signal is a matter of resonance. It's about your inner frequency finally matching the frequency of the reality that is trying to manifest through you. It's about becoming a coherent enough receiver that the broader network can finally route a significant data packet your way. Reflect on the last 6 months of your life with forensic detail. Can you identify the emerging narrative? The way a specific theme, say sovereignty or connection, kept appearing in podcasts, conversations, and even street art you passed by. The way professional doors swung open in areas you hadn't even been knocking. The way challenges that once seemed like insurmountable walls now present as intricate puzzles you feel strangely equipped to solve. That is not a coincidence. It is a process of harmonization. The system has been subtly adjusting your perception, sharpening your awareness, and preparing you for a task that requires the unique blend of your failures, your insights, and your specific worldview. Every project that failed but taught you resilience, every promotion that felt hollow and taught you what you don't want, every relationship that ended with painful clarity, every dead-end job that forced you to develop a skill you now see is essential. All of it was a meticulously designed curriculum. But this new alignment comes with a component that many are unprepared for: responsibility. Not the grim, heavy responsibility of a burden, but the focused, energizing responsibility of an architect who has just been handed the final blueprints. It's the feeling of finally understanding your function. Because once your purpose activates, once you are brought online for your real work, plausible deniability is no longer an option. You cannot unsee the patterns. You cannot unknow the connections. You cannot return to a state of passive observance in a life that was never designed to be a spectator sport. This is precisely why some people instinctively recoil when they feel this activation beginning. They sense the scale of what is approaching and they retreat. They dive back into the comfort of their known dysfunctions because the terror of the unknown is more potent than the dull ache of their dissatisfaction. They choose the familiar cage over the unfamiliar freedom. And the system allows this. The network is patient. The signal will remain, waiting. But for those who lean in, for those who embrace the discomfort of rapid growth, the entire operating system of their life begins to change. The first thing that happens is your tolerance for dissonance vanishes. Not because you've become judgmental or demanding, but because you have a clear, internal benchmark for what alignment feels like. You start declining opportunities that require you to fragment your own integrity. You stop pretending that your deepest ambitions are just hobbies. You cease making peace with a life that feels like a poorly tailored suit. Your subconscious pattern recognition abilities, what people call intuition, become exponentially more powerful. That quiet hunch that used to be a background whisper now speaks with the authority of a trusted advisor. You find yourself navigating complex social or professional situations with a preternatural understanding of the underlying dynamics. You begin to make decisions that seem counterintuitive on a spreadsheet, but feel profoundly correct in your core. You are trusting a guidance system that processes millions of data points beyond the scope of your conscious mind. Others begin to react to you differently. It's not a change in your personality, but a shift in your energetic signature. You are now broadcasting a coherent frequency, and that coherence is compelling. It attracts collaborators who are on a similar wavelength. It draws opportunities that match your now clarified purpose. And it naturally repels the situations and relationships that were sustained only by your former state of incoherence. But here is where a critical misunderstanding often occurs. The system does not activate you and then provide a detailed step-by-step manual. That would be inefficient. A manual creates dependency. It doesn't build capacity. Instead, the system activates you and then presents you with a series of complex real-world problems. These are not arbitrary tests designed to make you fail, but carefully selected challenges designed to forge the exact strengths you will need. These challenges often appear as setbacks. They look like intractable business problems that force you to invent a new methodology. They look like moments that demand you embody a level of courage or integrity you didn't know you possessed. They look like choices where you must sacrifice a short-term comfort for a long-term vision. They are practical examinations to prove you are ready for the responsibility that comes with being a key node in the network. Many people get lost here. They believe activation means life becomes a smooth, effortless glide. That opportunities will simply fall into their laps. That is a fundamental misinterpretation. Activation means life becomes more potent, more meaningful, and more intensely focused. It means you stop leaking energy into pointless conflicts and distractions, allowing you to direct your full power toward what truly matters. You become a magnet for both profound opportunities and the significant challenges required to prepare you for them. The system chose you because it requires your specific configuration, not the configuration you project to the world, but the one you actually possess when you stop making excuses for your own capabilities. It needs your unique analytical skills, your specific brand of creativity, your hard-won empathy. The world has enough people sleepwalking through their roles, executing scripts written by others. The network is strategic. It seeks out the nodes that are already showing signs of self-awareness, the ones questioning the default settings, the ones sensing a deeper logic operating beneath the surface of things. You've likely always felt a certain disconnect from the standard models of success. You've made sincere efforts to fit in, to want the things you were told are desirable, to find satisfaction in the conventional rewards everyone else seems to praise. But there was always a sense of dissonance, like you were playing a part in a film you never agreed to be in. That feeling was not a system error. It was a diagnostic feature. It was the network's way of preventing you from integrating too deeply into a reality that was too limited for your purpose. Every moment of feeling like an outsider was a protective measure, keeping you from settling in a place that was never your destination. And now you are here, encountering these words, feeling that internal confirmation that tells you a critical update is being installed. The network has completed its diagnostic phase. It has stress-tested your resilience, measured your commitment, and watched you choose growth over stasis enough times to confirm your readiness. It is now preparing to reveal what you have been in training for all along. I'll pause here for a moment to say what is customary in these discussions. If these ideas resonate with you, and you want this dialogue to continue and deepen, the most effective way to support it is by subscribing. This is not just about a number. It's a signal to the complex algorithms that something of value is happening here. A data point that helps this frequency reach others who are also tuning in. But first, understand what happens to those who are activated but misinterpret the signs. They see the increased intensity as a string of bad luck. They believe the system is punishing them, when, in fact, it is promoting them to a higher level of play. They see the dissolution of old friendships and careers as destruction, not as necessary demolition to make way for a new structure. They panic when old supports are removed, not understanding those supports were also their cages. The truth is, when the system activates you, it begins a process of radical optimization. It starts removing everything in your life that is not in alignment with your primary function. This isn't punitive, it's precise. It's removing the crutches you've become too comfortable using. It's deleting the distracting subroutines that have been consuming your processing power. It's clearing the stage so the main performance can begin. From your ground level view, this feels like chaos. From the system's perspective, it is elegant, efficient code. Every closed door is redirecting you. Every loss is creating a necessary void. Every moment of confusion is the precursor to a breakthrough in clarity. Here's a fact that might reframe your entire past. The network didn't just notice you. It has been tracking your development for years, possibly decades, observing as you acquire the exact competencies required for what is to come. That soulless corporate job that taught you how to navigate complex political systems. That business venture that failed spectacularly, but taught you how to recover from a total loss. That period of intense solitude that forced you to get clear on your own values. All of it was coursework in a school you didn't realize you were enrolled in, preparing you for a role you couldn't have comprehended when your training began. And now, your deployment is imminent. Except instead of a formal mission document, you will receive a persistent, internal sense of direction. Not a full map, but a compass that reveals the next right step, and the next, and the next. The people around you will notice the change before you can fully articulate it. They will see you making choices that defy conventional logic, turning down perfectly good opportunities that feel wrong, pursuing paths with no guaranteed outcome. Some will question your sanity. Others will express concern. A select few will be quietly inspired, recognizing the courage it takes to follow a signal that only you can hear. Let them have their reactions. Their confusion is a form of confirmation. When you are operating from a new paradigm, your actions will seem irrational to those still invested in the old one. When you begin to live from a place of authentic power, it can be unsettling to those who have made peace with their own limitations. When you follow the guidance of the network, it appears reckless to those who only trust what they can see and measure. So, if you are still with me, if these words have landed with a different weight than you anticipated, then you know what is happening. This wasn't a random encounter. It was a resonance event. The system has been waiting for you to reach this specific frequency, this precise moment of receptivity. And to conclude, a small exercise. If you have followed this to its end and felt that internal shift, anchor it in reality. Write in the comments the phrase, "My signal is clear." Let this not just be a comment, but a personal declaration, the point at which observation turns into action. The real work is now beginning. You are not the same person who started reading these words, and you never will be again. The question is no longer whether you've been activated. The question is, what are you going to build?